My unit salute just hours away from SmackDown 131.25, the Go-Home Show, to the Royal Rumble. Of course, tomorrow night. Now, full disclosure, full transparency, I do not have a SmackDown preview for you guys in today's Amped Up. Now, I know you're thinking, well, hours away from SmackDown, this would have been the perfect opportunity to talk some SmackDown, BC. But I'll take that full disclosure and full transparency a step further. You want blunt, amplified honesty. I didn't even do my due diligence to look up tonight's show. I didn't even care to preview tonight's SmackDown. That tells you how detached I am from the SmackDown product. How detached I've been from the Raw product. How detached I am becoming more and more by the show with the WWE in totality. The pro wrestling world in totality has a lot of work to do to get a fan like BC to be fully invested with undivided, captivating attention once again. Because it seems like none of these companies are trying to get fans like BC to be fully captivated. They're just happy with... It seems like they're just happy catering to their bases. WWE's got their comfortable little 1.4 million viewers on Friday nights, while their global viewership on Monday night continues to sink, drop, like a rock off a cliff more and more every Monday. At this point, Netflix is rethinking their deal at a rapid rate. What did we do? You're not going to believe where the global viewership fell in just 3 weeks. I have the latest numbers for you. We're going to talk about it. But they're making their record revenue, so they don't care about getting people like BC who are actually, we have our bar raised, our standards are raised. We know we should be getting a much better product than what we're getting right now. They don't even care. They're making their record revenue, and if we don't like it here in the States, they're going to take it to other countries, which they're doing at a rapid rate, even more so in 2025 than we've ever seen before, and they're certainly going to pay money because they don't get to see world wrestling entertainment as often as the Americans do. And the money will continue to pile up, and there'll be fans that will whip out credit cards or beg mom and dad to go see it. And the wheel will go round and round with subpar, mid-AF, redundant, pathetic television. If it wasn't for Cody and CM Punk Monday night, there'll be nothing. There would have been nothing to talk about from Monday Night Raw, the go-home show to the Rumble, the kickoff to Mania season. And we had nothing to talk about at all. Instead, the biggest headline, aside from Punk and Cody, was JD McDonuts actually getting injured in his match. Storyline-wise, what else did you get? You got nothing. Xavier Woods' parents showed up late and told the dude to screw off. Funny for the moment. It's not something you're going to be talking about days later. Logan Paul and Seth Rollins formed a little alliance and told Gunther to screw off. Wow, what a story. Can't wait to see Logan Paul versus Gunther at Mania, said nobody ever. What about Rollins versus Gunther, said even less people ever. Monday Night Raw continues to drop, and if you don't believe BC, you don't even got to, but believe the facts. I'm going to give you the numbers that Netflix is unfortunately, probably reluctantly distributing. And then you have SmackDown. They can't pull out of a 1.4 if their entire existence depended on it. And it wouldn't, even though it's WrestleMania season. This is where by default you're going to go up in the ratings because casuals will slowly trickle in no matter how bad the product is because it's Mania season. But I wouldn't be shocked if SmackDown in the near future pulls a 1.3 or less. The shows suck. Somebody's just got to be honest and tell you that. Insert BC. No BS, no sugarcoating. These shows suck. And when I think about a Friday night and 3 hours of WWE SmackDown, my already headache turns into a migraine. There's not enough coffee in the world to get you through 3 hours of SmackDown on a Friday night with Hunter Hearst Helmsley in charge of creative. I'm just going to leave it at that in this cold open teaser because it's just like talking in circles at this point. Because I know there are so many fans like BC that know that this company could be and should be giving us much better content than they are and that they have been. That we should be invested into riveting storylines with larger-than-life characters. The same thing I've been preaching for years, and nothing changes. Their wallets get fatter. Revenue is coming in at a rapid rate for WWE. Good for their financials. But at what expense? The viewer's expense. Endeavor gets to put 16 ads on the canvas now, put more commercials than ever before on our programming. Even if you're paying for Netflix and Endeavor, everybody is trying to get every penny back because they overpaid for his crappy product. And it's at the viewer's expense. We still get the same crappy, non-existent storylines and creative, now with just even more eyesores on the canvas, right? A lot more advertisements. The product somehow continues to get worse. And there's so many fans that feel the same way as BC, but they've basically been beaten down into submission at this point. There's no fight left in them. The company's clearly not changing. It's like, BC, we love you, we agree with you, we support. I just can't do it anymore. I'm just going to start eating, man. I'm just going to start. I know it's stupid. It's annoying. But there's nothing left. I can't, BC. I'm just going to start eating. I'm going to try to enjoy wrestling. And that's subpar. That's mid. We should not be enjoying. We should be captivated. I didn't start watching wrestling because I enjoyed it. You enjoy ice cream. You enjoy a good late night with the old lady. You should be captivated by professional wrestling. Nobody cares these days about WWE gets a pass for sure, right? The thing to do is just trash AEW left and right, a company that's been around a little over 5 years. Hopefully they'll get their footing. But why are we paying all this attention to a company over here that's getting about 600 to 650,000 viewers? And if that's the case, if that's the lowest of low, then we should also be trashing NXT left and right, no? But no, that's associated with WWE, so we give that a pass. They've been around longer than AEW. They're stuck around 700,000. And that's on the CW, a company that's been around 5 years. The thing to do is just everybody, the community, just bash AEW. Let's just have a bash fest, man. What is the fascination, the obsession with just trashing AEW? All right, we get it. It's not your cup of coffee. Where's the same energy with the WW? They've been around decades. There's no reason for this type of product for World Wrestling Entertainment. We turn a blind eye to it so we can continue to bash a company that's been around for 5 years. If it's not your cup of coffee, move on to the coffee machine itself. Fix the coffee machine. That's WWE. That's what we all, first, most of us anyway, fell in love with. That's the one that's been around, the juggernaut that's been around for decades. When they are on track, everybody else can get in sync and it flows naturally, right? That momentum carries through the industry. But the narratives and the agendas and everybody just wants to just listen, criticism, bash them if you want here and there, but nonstop. What is it getting? Okay, Tony Khan and AEW. Hopefully they'll change. I don't know. They've been around 5 years. What's WWE's excuse? And why is nobody... You're going to sell us on it's captivating television. You're not going to sell us that this is the best we should be getting, man. Cody and CM Punk was the only good part of Monday Night Raw, and you damn well know it. Most people turned it off because they thought the show was over. It was so horribly done. And you guys are sitting over here, man. It's WrestleMania season. It doesn't even feel like it is. And you guys are too concerned with what the Death Riders are doing. Death Riders are not booked correctly. Well, that's the whole WWE roster, basically. I told you, I got a headache. I got SmackDown tonight for 3 hours. I want to do my notes for you guys because you showed the utmost support. So I got to rock this upload up for you guys tomorrow before Royal Rumble. Got the Rumble tomorrow night, obviously. So there's a lot to get to. And 3 hours on a Friday night for this crappy show is just ridiculous. It's pathetic. I wish the product was much better. I wish I could be giving you a different intro, a different cold open teaser. A different way to start this than what we just had to discuss. If you're new to the channel, welcome. You probably have already found out this is not your run-of-the-mill channel. This is different than any other channel you'll come across. We are the amplified unit. Amplified is amplified. And we just don't fuck around, man. We don't sugarcoat, we don't bullshit. We certainly don't take discussions that are too hot for most to handle and throw them to the wayside. No, we put them in the forefront and we rock them out. 44 dive. We rolling. All right, let's get into it. After all that, new subscribers are like, whoa, there's more? Yeah, we actually have the amped up. I'll try to go through these stories quickly. Because I do have the headache, and I just know it's going to be a migraine by the time SmackDown starts, and I don't even want to know by the time SmackDown ends. I'll probably be upside down in a barrel of coffee at that point. But let's get into this, guys. I'll go through some rapid fire stories first. For those that were hoping AJ Lee was coming back Saturday night, some not so good news for you. And I do believe Punk here because this was so naturally just rapid fire response when he was asked AJ Lee's status. And Punk just said, I got no scoop for you. AJ is at home watching Larry. And he just so naturally said, I believe that wholly, guys. I do not think you're going to see AJ Lee in this Royal Rumble. So if you were hoping to see AJ, I know, salute to AJ Lee, AJ Mendez. It just doesn't look like that's going to happen. However, it does look like you're going to be seeing WWE's newest acquisition from Total Nonstop Action, TNA, Jordynne Grace, officially signed with WWE. Now, a couple days ago, Nick Khan actually confirmed that. He let the cat out of the bag, and I don't think Jordynne Grace appreciated that. Because Jordynne ever since has been trying to get everybody to believe that she will not be at the Rumble, stating she will be elsewhere, and it's unfortunate, and she can't believe she's going to miss this opportunity. But is that just to throw everybody off the trail? We do believe that is the case. Perhaps Nick Khan should not have pre-announced that just on a stage for WWE employees, too. It was a weird way to introduce Jordynne Grace, but they just can't get a hold of themselves sometimes. It's just the egos are so big now that they always want to tout, right? All the successes, all the revenue that they're getting, all the acquisitions, and they just can't help but like breaking news or teasing stuff, and instead of just letting it go, man. Let the reaction be bigger. Let the moment be more epic. It was just a weird way to announce it, but we all knew that was happening anyway. Jordynne's contract ended right before Rumble time. WWE always had it in them it was always going to be for WWE to sign her immediately. And I think TNA knew that with this working relationship. I'm sure there's no hard feelings. That's one of their top talents going to WWE. I do expect her to be in the Rumble. So you have AJ Lee won't be there. Jordynne Grace will be there. And a new acquisition big for WWE. AEW lost one of their female talents, and this is mind-boggling to me because I didn't know she was still there, or it's just not something I think about. Maria Kanellis. Do you guys remember Maria Kanellis? She just announced that she has departed AEW officially, to which I honestly, BC, honestly, my first thought was, she was in AEW? You didn't even remember. You didn't know. What was she there for, a sip of coffee? It was like her WWE second run, and they brought her back, and even then I questioned why, man. WWE needs to, even years ago, when I started this channel, this company needed to fix their product. They still haven't. So back then I was still going, why did they bring Maria back? Like, what is that really going to do? How is that moving any needle? And sure enough, I think she like instantly got pregnant or something, and she was gone, guys. She wasn't even on TV, and when it was time to come back, they just parted ways. It was really weird. And then she kind of did her own thing for a year or two, whatever it was. And then AEW hired her. And I'm like, why? What is Maria Kanellis or Mike Bennett doing for All Elite Wrestling? But they hired her. And the same thing happened. She just like vanished. Now, there was reports that she wanted to do more. That's a good thing. But maybe Tony was like, I don't even know what to do with. I mean, there's so much talents that want to be used. I don't think Maria Kanellis leapfrogs 50 of those talents. Because that's how many are waiting for TV time. At least 50 every single television taping. So no matter what it is, I just don't understand. But congrats to her, man. She's got a unicorn attached to her, or some type of, it's Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year. Maybe there's a lot of good luck around Maria Kanellis because these companies keep signing her. And then you just don't see her for years. So she's collecting money. Good for her. I don't understand the appeal, though. Maria Kanellis was good the first time in WWE. Okay. That's it. I don't understand why it's like Jeff Jarrett. Everybody wants to hire Jeff Jarrett. Vince McMahon hired him 3 times. Tony Khan couldn't wait to get Jeffrey Jarrett. Well, why? What is the appeal? Is he such a smooth talker that he can get what I'm telling you, man. It's like an Obama back. When did he run for president? Was that 2008? Smooth talker, man. He had the whole country going, yes, yes, yes. Results, that's a different story. But man, smooth talker, I guess. Jeffrey Jarrett. Maybe Maria is too. I don't know. But Maria Kanellis is out of AEW. For anybody that cares or was looking forward to when she really got some big stuff in AEW, man, that's not going to happen. She's gone. So again, wild that's even a story, but it is. Now we go to, right, it's a lot of like returns and people departing. Let's go with another huge WWE return. This one's massive. Stephanie McMahon. Steph McMahon is back in WWE. She has a new show coming out on ESPN and other affiliates as well. I'll give you her exact quote. This was on Pat McAfee's show. Stephanie returned. She talks about her return and her new show, and this is what she says. In partnership with Omaha Productions and ESPN, the show is a part of Peyton's Places show, and it is called Stephanie's Places. I'm going all over the country and hopefully the world to really find out the stories behind the biggest stars in WWE. So if that sounds like your cup of coffee, pretty cool. Maybe if I was like much, much younger and I was starving for wrestling content, I would absolutely be like, I would be very much looking forward to something like this. The problem is there's so much oversaturation in pro wrestling today. There's shows about everything. Behind the scenes, you got Bianca and Montez and Miz and Marie showing their love life and their behind the scenes. You have the Divas and the Bellas and their shows. All the behind-the-scenes documentaries. I mean, the curtain is pulled back so far. I don't think it could go back the other way. I think we broke it, right? It's like when you get into a hotel room and you want to see your view, and you whip the curtain, and then you go to shut it, and I was so excited. I don't know if the curtain's been just pulled back, man. I don't know if every single magic trick has been exposed, but all of these shows, it's just so much. And it's all these channels. Netflix is doing a bunch of stuff. This one here is on ESPN and other affiliates as well through Peyton Manning's show and his production company. But A&E does a bunch of shows. It's non-stop. Their YouTube channel has a bunch of shows. The Peacock, right? Formerly WWE Network. They have so much. I don't even know how you can keep up with it all. But good for her. And if it brings her back, maybe it's much needed right now. Maybe that's exactly what Hunter needs. Is her right there to help out with a lot. Because you got to believe, from what we're hearing too, by the way, is, well, first let me give you another quote, and then I'll jump into what we're hearing. She says about her return to WWE, "I never stopped being proud. I do think I wanted to disappear for a while, and I kind of did. And it was good for me. I needed it. But now, I'm back." End quote. And we are hearing that she is going to be a part of either Raw or SmackDown, or both, through this damn portal. There's many ways that Stephanie will just show up to anywhere, and she'll be an authority figure if she does in fact return anyway. But we are hearing she is supposed to be an on-air character for WrestleMania. So we could gather that means the season, right? So now the only question is, where do you place her? SmackDown with Aldis, or do you place her with Pierce and Raw? I think the first question you have to ask is, which show needs her more? Clearly Monday Night Raw. As bad as SmackDown is, Raw most of the time is even worse somehow. So the fact that you have Raw that's in desperate need of something more than just Adam Pearce, the fact that SmackDown is going back to 2 hours this June, right from the jump, I think she would be better utilized on Monday Night Raw. It's longer, and it's in need of a lot more areas that need to be checked off. Then you look at who she'll be working with. Again, most likely an authority type role. So will she bounce back and forth, ricochet off back and forth, connect, gel with Nick Aldis more, or will it be Pierce? As much as you could do a lot with Aldis and Stephanie, I think that more can be accomplished with Pierce and Stephanie. My vote is for her on Raw if she's not going to be bouncing between the two. But I know a lot of you guys might want to see that dynamic with Stephanie and Nick Aldis. I just don't think Nick Aldis needs anybody stepping on his toes. I think if you give him a lot more, Nick Aldis will shine and make everybody he's working with in those backstage segments or in the ring shine even brighter. Pierce could really use that bounce off. So that's what we got for you, man. Stephanie McMahon is back. I gave you her exact words, her new project, and again, her saying, "I am back." And that coincides with the reports that we're hearing that she's going to be an on-air character going into Mania. So there you go. I think it's a good thing, man. Listen, the product is in desperate need of something. I've been saying this for the long time, a kick in the ass. Maybe Stephanie can do that. I'd rather Shane, but maybe Stephanie can do that. Or is Stephanie and H backstage without a Vince overseeing them is just going to be like an absolute circus? I hope that's not the case. I also have news on Stand and Deliver, NXT's big PLE every single WrestleMania season. Usually it's the weekend of. Well, once again, this is not the first time they've done this. They're actually going to do it on the Saturday, night one of WrestleMania. On the afternoon of night one, NXT, Shawn Michaels will produce their Stand and Deliver event. So again, that is Saturday afternoon. And then later that night will be WrestleMania night one. So if you're a fan that gets fatigued with a lot of wrestling in one 24-hour period, that's going to be a rough night for you and day. And then the next day you got night two of Mania. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot. But they have no choice. Friday night they're going to do a live SmackDown. Monday night, right after night two of Mania, they're going to have their live Raw. And then you got to go right into your Tuesday night NXT taping. Wild, man. And we will end this amped up for 131.25 off with another wild drop in numbers for Raw on Netflix. I would say you're not going to believe this, but if you're following the trend, you should not be shocked. Guys, Raw debuted on January 6th with a global audience of 5.9 million viewers. In just 1 week, they fell 2.2 million global viewers to 3.7. And now, this was last week, not this past, because we get a full week delay, unfortunately, in these numbers, global numbers. But last week's Raw, the third ever on Netflix, garnered 3 million global flat. A loss of just over 700,000 more global viewers, nearly 750,000 gone. If you do your Steiner math, in less than a month from their debut of nearly 6 million global, 5.9, and now they're at 3 million, they have basically lost half of their audience in less than a month. We're still waiting on this week's. Maybe closer getting to Mania already. Maybe some viewers flocked back. We're going to keep a keen eye on it. But for the first 3 weeks, to lose half your audience globally, guys, they're on track at this point to be heading into the 2 semods. To put that in perspective, a little over a year ago, they were in 2 semods for their Nielsen American ratings. That's beyond bad if you're World Wrestling Entertainment. But hopefully these numbers will help be that boot in the ass that I've been talking about that this company needs. To make them see that, yeah, you're pulling all the record revenue, but there's going to come a day where that stops. And you're going to have to turn around and look at all the viewers that you've shit on. And say, oops, come to think of it, we haven't been giving you the best product. You've been giving us all your money, but we haven't been giving you our best. Please give us another chance, and you better hope there's enough of us still to give you that chance. Until next time, in the next Amped Up, I am BC, and to my Unit 44 Dive, that's a wrap. It is Royal Rumble time. The next time we speak, it'll be the SmackDown review tomorrow early AM, and then tomorrow night, it'll be the Rumble live review. Stop by the channel, say what's up to BC and the Unit. We'd love to have you stop by. Chuck a coffee at the channel if you want. Stay a little, relax, watch the Rumble, man, and listen to BC. Either praise it or rip it apart or a little bit of both. But we always have a lot of fun. Every time the buzzard hits and a new entrant comes down, we have so much fun on the channel for the Rumble live streams, man. So, yeah, it's a big weekend on the channel. But rock out whatever you got to do now. And then, again, 3 hours of SmackDown tonight. If you got a headache, man, I don't know what to tell you. Have a lot of coffee on tap because that's going to turn into a migraine. Salute, Unit. A lot of Rumble coverage, man. Stay locked on the channel. Salute. We out.